There are two versions of Arkansas. One is the state most people picture. Rivers, forests, and farmland. The other lingers in the past, where mining settlements collapsed. Floods erased communities, and traces of them never fully disappeared. The old mill, built by hand in the 1930s, still channels water through carved stone, its machinery moving as if untouched by age. In Rush, empty houses and mine shafts remain exactly where miners left them a century ago, preserved by time and neglect. Cooper Chapel, crafted from timber and glass, seems to stand between the ground and the air, perfectly still. Stay with me as we uncover Arkansas's most extraordinary wonders, where rare discoveries and forgotten mysteries might change the way you see this state forever. Beaver Lake wasn't named after the animal, but after Wilson Ashbury Beaver, who founded the town of Beaver in the 1850s. Engineers planned to build the dam near his town, but the geology was too weak. They moved it 6 miles away, yet the lake still carries his name even though the water never touched his town. The Great Flood of 1927 submerged over 6,600 square miles of Arkansas alone, covering 14% of the entire state and displacing thousands, prompting the dam's eventual construction. The lake may be named after a settler, but the actual beavers have made these waters their own. The beaver's most important adaptation in this area are its orange front teeth, which never stop growing. The iron makes their teeth strong and prevents cracks as they chew on trees. Beavers eat only plants, feeding on the bark and wood of trees like aspen and alder. They cut down big trees to get the small top branches, with the best bark and twigs. Interestingly, beavers are relentless engineers. They change stream paths and build dams by packing logs, sticks, rocks and grass into the mud. Yet, in the deeper sections of Beaver Lake, beavers may skip dam construction entirely and live in bank burrows instead. Their underwater entrances hide under roots and reeds, making it hard for predators to get in. Beyond the beaver lodges, one cove stands apart from the rest, Eagle Hollow. The cove's name derives from the presence of eagles frequently seen, resting on nearby pine trees and cliffs that overlook the water. It is one of the rare places with a cave entrance that opens directly onto the lake, making it a notable geological feature in the region. The underwater terrain here is littered with submerged timber and old structures. The rotten wooden poles within the cove are believed to be remains of old docks or fishing structures that existed before the lake's floodwaters claimed the area. Wood submerged in fresh water over long periods undergoes a unique decay process, preserving some structural shape while becoming soft and brittle, as seen in these poles. River otters thrive along Beaver Lake. Their thick fur repels water thanks to oils from its skin, while thick body fat keeps it warm during Beaver Lake's cold winters. They usually live alone or in pairs, but often socialise in groups and play together. River otters don't migrate, but they stay within home areas that can cover up to 30 square miles. They breed with multiple partners, and females can delay pregnancy for up to 8 months through delayed implantation. This allows them to time the birth of their pups for periods when food is abundant and environmental conditions are optimal, maximising the chances that their litter will survive and thrive. Female river otters give birth to 1 to 6 pups and stay with them for their first year, communicating through growls, chirps and squeals. Skilled hunters built for catching prey in water, with fish, especially perch, suckers and catfish, making up their main diet. What sets them apart is that river otters can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes, allowing them to hunt and forage more effectively. Beneath the surface, where otters dive for fish, lies the drowned remains of Monte. Monte was started by William Hope Harvey, a failed presidential candidate who thought he could build a perfect town in the Ozark Hills. The name translates from Spanish as mountain water. This was a resort and planned community built to realise the vision of a mountain paradise centred around natural springs and the White River. He developed elaborate hotels, an amphitheatre, and a system of lagoons to bring this vision to life, which drew wealthy visitors from across the country in the early 1900s. When the US Army Corps of Engineers began filling Beaver Lake, Monte disappeared beneath the rising waters. The remaining concrete walls have held up for decades, and visitors photograph and walk through the old amphitheatre when water levels drop. During periods of drought, the water level drops significantly, revealing Monte. When the rain returns and the lake rises, it disappears again. Each time the town reappears, crowds gather to witness it, before it sinks again beneath Beaver Lake. Buffalo River's name actually came from buffalo carpfish that crowded the river so densely that locals claimed a person could walk across the water on their backs. It became the first river in the US protected as a national river after years of battles against building dams. In 1903, Waldo Conard searched for a lead mine near the river, but instead found ancient bones, creating one of America's most remarkable fossil discoveries. Buffalo River rocks hold fossils from 180 million years ago, showing life from ancient seas to the first trees and ferns. Among the 200 bird species that call Buffalo National River home, the American goldfinch flashes through open meadows and riverside vegetation throughout the year. Their cone-shaped beaks let them pull seeds from tight seed heads, while their strong feet help them cling to plants. Its hierarchy depends on bill colour and season, with females dominant in summer but less so in winter. These birds demonstrate irregular migration behaviour. They often remain in the same area when the food sources stay abundant. Snakes, weasels, squirrels, and blue jays prey on goldfinch eggs and chicks, and they respond by staying alert and giving alarm calls, cutting back on feeding instead of attacking. In late June or July, nesting begins, making them one of the latest breeders and defying the typical spring nesting timeline followed by most species. They are strict granivores, feeding exclusively on seeds from the daisy family, weeds, grasses, and small tree seeds from elm, birch, and alder. It is unique among its finch relatives, molting twice yearly to change males from winter brown to bright yellow by July. While these birds fly over Buffalo River meadows, the ruins of Rush Ghost Town cling to the valley walls where zinc miners once walked. This town sprang up in the 1880s when prospectors hunting for silver found shiny flakes that turned out to be zinc oxide after a smelter in 1887. It was named after the Rush Creek watershed, where zinc deposits were found. This town swelled to nearly 5,000 residents during its peak, recognised as the most prosperous city per capita in the entire state. When World War I ended, zinc prices collapsed overnight, and Rush transformed from boomtown to ghost town within a decade, its population plummeting from thousands to just 344. Shortly, some mine owners abandoned their operations overnight, leaving behind ore carts, tools, drills, and even dynamite in the tunnels. Rush became an official ghost town in 1972, the same year Buffalo National River gained federal protection, making it the only certified ghost town between the Mississippi River and the Rockies. Where miners once cleared Rush's forests, chestnut-sided warblers now sing from the young trees that have grown over the ruins. These birds prefer young, regrowing forests along the Buffalo National River that emerge after logging, fires, or flooding. Once rare before the 1800s, limited to areas recovering from natural disasters, they became abundant breeders in second-growth deciduous woodlands after primeval forests were cleared. Young birds learn songs from adults, creating regional dialects along the Buffalo River, while males have two song types that reveal their breeding stage. These warblers actively forage in shrubs and small trees, tail up and wings drooped, hopping between perches to pick insects from the undersides of leaves. These neotropical migrants travel at night between their breeding grounds along the Buffalo National River and their wintering areas in Central America up to northern Colombia. Unfortunately, large numbers of chestnut-sided warblers die each year after colliding with stationary objects, often found at the base of TV towers, smokestacks and tall buildings during migration. Raccoons, squirrels, foxes, crows, garter snakes, and blue jays prey on chestnut-sided warblers at all stages of their life, from eggs to adults. Among the predators threatening warbler nests along Buffalo River, raccoons rank as the most persistent raiders. These little creatures stand out for their nimble paws, sharp night vision, and remarkable adaptability. They demonstrate nocturnal behaviour, doing most of their foraging and moving in the hours just after sunset, when they feel safest under the cover of darkness. Raccoons stay in the same home range year-round, adjusting their movements based on seasonal food and winter cold, and feed on crayfish, fish, frogs, bird eggs, small mammals, insects, fruits, berries, and nuts depending on availability. Raccoon breeding begins in late winter, with males becoming aggressive and females choosing the strongest mates. Kits stay with their mothers for 2 to 4 months and reach full independence and sexual maturity by 1 year. Predators such as coyotes and foxes actively hunt raccoons in the region, while younger kits face further threats from snakes and raptors in vulnerable situations near dens or water. East Calico rose from the darkness of the 1800s as a trading post for French trappers navigating the White River's treacherous waters. The town earned its sinister nickname from pepper sauce, the local term for the moonshine that flowed like poison through the settlement's veins. Pepper Sauce Alley became infamous for its wild behaviour, with as many as 20 people packed into its tiny jail on a typical Saturday night. The town quickly fell into chaos as taverns sprang up, attracting thieves, vagabonds and killers, turning the streets into battlegrounds of knives and gunfire. In 1902, the railroad's arrival led citizens to purge East Calico of criminals, leaving a dark legacy in the buildings they abandoned. The town briefly revived with mining, timber and cotton, but economic collapse, overforestation and silent tracks had turned it into a ghost town by the 1960s. Beyond the decaying structures of East Calico, the wilderness of Ozark National Forest spreads across the surrounding hills. Ozark National Forest was created when President Theodore Roosevelt set aside 917,944 acres of mountainous wilderness, forming the nation's first protected hardwood forest. Sprawling across 16 counties, the forest covers mountain peaks, deep hollows, and limestone caverns. It also features Whitaker Point, known locally as Hawksbill Crag for its resemblance to a hawksbill sticking out from the mountainside. This scenic spot extends 150 feet above the forest floor, offering panoramic views of the wilderness below. Mount Magazine stands as the highest point in Arkansas, with the name coming from French explorers who believed that early visitors referred to the mountain's shape or sounds in that sense. Today it is home to more than 500 species of trees and woody plants, creating an ecosystem that supports black bears, mountain lions, and other wildlife. Within the forest's northwestern boundaries, Lake Weddington waits behind a dam built by desperate men during the Great Depression. Workers built a dam, cabins, an administration building, a fire tower, and a bathhouse while converting depleted farmlands into pastures and planting 350,000 trees. The Northwest Arkansas Land Use Project covered 18,000 acres to relocate families from unproductive farmland and show them better ways to use the land in the Ozark region. Within its first year, over 55,000 visitors arrived at what became Northwest Arkansas's first large recreational lake. Swimming, mountain biking, and paddling are popular activities, though some facilities close periodically for maintenance, and restoration work continues on the aging stone structures. After dark falls over the recreation area, the distinctive 8-hoot call of the barred owl echoes through the forest. They thrive in the Ozark National Forest's mature hardwood stands, where thick tree cover and lowland forests offer ideal conditions for survival. Small rodents make up the bulk of their diet, but they also eat crayfish, snakes, frogs, insects, fish, and even birds depending on the season. Once prey is detected, they glide silently from 20 to 33 feet away, their specialised wing feathers keeping them completely quiet to avoid alerting their target. Great horned owls are their predator, capable of overpowering adult barred owls in territorial conflicts. To defend their territories that can span several hundred acres, these creatures remain in the Ozark forest throughout the year. Barred owls stand apart as one of the few North American owl species that routinely hunt during daylight hours, particularly when targeting nesting birds. While owls call and glide through the forest, an entirely different realm exists below in Blanchard Springs Caverns. This cave drops more than 200 feet underground in the Ozark National Forest, 15 miles northwest of Mountain View. The limestone formed 350 to 500 million years ago from fossilised sea creatures at the bottom of an inland ocean. The system contains 8.1 miles of mapped passages spread across 3 levels, making it the second longest cave in Arkansas and the largest by volume. Approximately 500,000 endangered grey bats hibernate in a sealed section during the winter months, returning in summer to consume tons of insects throughout Arkansas. Above the cavern entrance where spring water emerges, grey catbirds nest in the dense thickets that line the waterway. These birds prefer woodland edges, dense thickets near water, and vine-covered areas that help hide them from predators. Despite their small size, catbirds defend their nests aggressively, attacking and pecking predators instead of running away. Grey catbirds are primarily insectivores, but will also eat berries and small fruits. During September and October, they migrate south, flying mostly at night to stay safe and cool. They stand out by copying sounds from other birds, tree frogs, and even machines, weaving them into songs that can last several minutes. In addition to that, these birds also have their own distinctive, harsh, cat-like call, which gives the species its name. Southwest of the Ozark National Forest, a 13th century Scottish-inspired castle sits just east of Fayetteville Country Club. Named after an old Nordic phrase meaning dreams the size of mountains, Drumorg Castle reflects the vision of Bruce and Joan Johnson, who spent 5 years making it a reality. Built from 4,000 tons of local stone between 2003 and 2008, the castle has 12,000 square feet of living space and is designed to appear as if it evolved over centuries from farm to fortress to home. Drumorg opened its doors for charitable events, wedding photos, concerts and gatherings after the construction finished. Lake Sequoyah covers 389 acres in southeast Fayetteville, where the Middle Fork meets the White River at the start of Arkansas's longest stream system. Fayetteville purchased the 1,400-acre property in 1958 and built the dam to create a reliable water supply or the growing city. Engineers built the dam where the three forks of the White River meet to ensure a steady water flow and store enough water. Within a decade, city officials stopped using Lake Sequoyah for drinking water when the Beaver Water District took over. For years, Fayetteville charged fees for fishing and boating at Lake Sequoyah. However, when longtime manager Mike Carver retired in 2022, all fees were removed, allowing the state to stock the lake and run fishing programs. In the overgrown fields and brush near the lake, these birds bring colours unmatched by any other North American bird. Painted buntings need dense foliage for nesting and open ground for foraging, which makes Lake Sequoyah's persimmon, clusters and early successional growth ideal for breeding pairs. Males claim large territories before females arrive and defend them aggressively with pecking, grappling and wing strikes, sometimes causing injury or death to intruders. Even more striking, male birds sport dark blue heads, green backs, and red rumps and underparts, earning the nickname nonpareil, or without equal, while females shine with brighter green plumage than any similar songbird. While they brighten the open scrublands, the shaded forest canopy is home to another migrant, the hooded warbler. These birds forage for insects and use dense foliage for protection. During mating season, males arrive first, singing repetitive notes to attract females, and mixed songs to defend boundaries with neighbours. Males and females separate in winter, with males in mature forests and females in scrubby areas. Their constant tail fanning and white tail spots set them apart, while males develop a black hood by their first year, and females and young birds show subtler or plain patterns. Beyond the low-lying shrubs where these birds thrive, another species moves through the same Arkansas woodlands at a completely different pace. North American porcupines thrive in the forests around Lake Sequoyah, using their specialized bodies to live easily in trees. When threatened, they release a strong odour, raise their quills, clack their teeth, and swing their tail at attackers. They feed on twigs, leaves, and roots in warmer months, then switch to bark and needles in winter, sometimes even gnawing on sheds or vehicles for salt. What truly sets them apart is that their quills carry a natural antibiotic coating that protects them from infection when they accidentally prick themselves. Booger Hollow was a quirky roadside stop, known for its humour and odd charm. The name dates back to the early 1800s, when locals believed the area was haunted by a bogeyman, a mythical creature, ghost or hobgoblin, said to linger between two cemeteries. This trading post's highlight was a two-storey outhouse, a prop with a sign that read, "Upstairs closed till we get the plumbing fixed," which became a favourite photo stop for travellers along scenic Highway 7. The Booger Hollow closed in 2004 after its sale, and the new owners never reopened it. Today, the buildings along Highway 7 north of Dover crumble under thick vegetation, overtaking the old shops that once sold hillbilly memorabilia and country hams. This state park sits in the Boston Mountains, where officials in the 1930s decided to flood a valley to supply drinking water for Fort Smith. At the same time, workers built swimming pools, stone cottages, fish ponds, and a boathouse above it. However, the original park closed completely in 2002 to make way for a larger dam, which submerged all previous buildings, trails, and facilities. Fort Smith spent $12 million to rebuild the park 4 miles north, and soon after, it reopened in May 2008 with a visitor centre, 30 campsites, 10 cabins, and a marina. Park interpreters host nighttime Haunted Waters Lake tours, sharing real Ozarks ghost stories while drifting across the dark reservoir each October, with costumes encouraged for visitors. Today, the park not only welcomes visitors, but also provides habitat for killdeer, which nest in the gravel near the marina and boat ramps. These creatures survive in open terrain where hiding is impossible. They use wide sightlines and clever deception to turn vulnerability into an advantage. It hunts by sprinting, stopping suddenly, and darting forward to snatch prey like beetles, worms, and snails. During mating season, males claim territory through aerial displays and loud calls, scraping several shallow nests until a female selects one. When predators such as hawks, owls, foxes, and raccoons approach the nest, the bird collapses one wing and drags it along the ground while emitting sharp distress calls. This is called the broken wing display to distract predators and protect its nest. Females lay 3 to 5 spotted eggs, and both parents share incubation duties until the chicks hatch and leave the nest shortly after. Parents never feed their young, but lead them to feeding areas, protecting them for a few more days until they can fly. In contrast to the killdeer's deceptive tactics, another Lake Fort Smith resident takes a more aggressive approach to predator defence. Blue jays thrive in oak-dominated woodlands, positioning themselves along forest edges where food is most abundant. These birds are bold defenders of territory, using loud alarm calls and coordinated mobbing to drive away hawks, owls, and competing birds. Fascinatingly, during nesting season, they become quiet and secretive to protect their eggs and chicks. Migration patterns remain unpredictable, with some birds staying year-round, while others travel hundreds of miles, often influenced by winter food availability. Predators pose constant threats at every life stage, from hawks hunting adults in open flight to snakes, squirrels, and raccoons raiding nests for eggs and nestlings. Their intelligence, problem-solving skills, and aggressive territorial behaviour set them apart from other songbirds, allowing them to thrive in both forests and nearby suburban areas. Moving from the forests to the wetlands, red-winged blackbirds become the most prominent voices. These blackbirds produce sharp alarm calls and often mob predators like raccoons, snakes, or even larger birds, showing their fierce territorial instincts. Their strong legs and sharp claws allow them to perch on cattails and reeds, while their bright red shoulder patches serve as a warning to intruders and rivals. These blackbirds migrate south in the fall, but those in milder climates often stay year-round. Some travel hundreds of miles, while others stay nearby depending on food and weather. They feed mostly on seeds, but switch to insects during the breeding season, catching beetles, caterpillars, and grasshoppers on the ground or in shallow water. Males often mate with multiple females within their territory, and females usually raise the young alone. Fort Smith National Historic Site sits at the crossroads of military power, federal law, and frontier justice on the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, celebrated for its rich history, military fort, and vibrant riverfront. It was established on Christmas Day 1817 to prevent conflicts over land and resources between the Osage, the area's original inhabitants, and the Cherokee, who were forcibly relocated westward by Indian removal policies. Nearby the Clayton House is a 6,000 square foot Victorian mansion expanded by federal prosecutor William Clayton, who handled 10,000 cases and oversaw 160 executions at Fort Smith. The mansion served as a Confederate refuge, Union hospital, and paranormal hotspot, and today operates as a Victorian house museum, hosting tours and serving as an event venue. Fort Smith preserves both frontier forts, Parker's restored courtroom, the jail basement, and a replica gallows. In 1722, French explorer Jean-Baptiste Bénard de la Harpe spotted a small rock formation on the Arkansas River, naming it La Petite Roche, or the Little Rock. This landmark became a key reference point and later influenced the selection as the state capital in 1820. Decades of construction along the Arkansas River altered the landscape so much that the famous rock was no longer visible to the public. However, a surviving portion now sits next to the old railroad bridge in the River Market District. From here, the state capitol building stands out as one of the city's most prominent symbols of leadership and change. Built in 1899 on the former site of the state penitentiary, the building features a neoclassical design with Greek-style columns and was modelled after the US Capitol. It rises 230 feet high, with a cupola covered in 24-carat gold leaf, an exterior of Arkansas limestone, marble floors and grand staircases, and massive bronze front doors. Replacing the old State House as the seat of government, this marked a fresh start and reflected the city's growing ambition for progress. Over time, it became the centre of major decisions and laws that continue to shape the city's progress today. As the capital stood for government power, Little Rock Central High School became a symbol of social change. In 1957, 9 African-American students, later called the Little Rock Nine, bravely attended the all-white school to challenge racial segregation. This sparked a national crisis, with mobs and the State National Guard blocking them until the federal troops intervened and escorted them safely inside. Today, the school remains a functioning public high school and a living monument to the civil rights movement. Beyond the city's history, the Big Dam Bridge stretches across the river, connecting communities. The longest pedestrian and bike bridge in North America stretches 4,226 feet across the Arkansas River. Once called the Impossible Dream due to skepticism and funding challenges, Judge Floyd G. Buddy. Villines declared, "We're going to build that dam bridge." This remark became the bridge's official nickname, symbolising the determination to make a bold vision a reality. The bridge opened to the public on September 30th, 2006, linking over 7,000 acres of parkland on both sides of the Arkansas River along the 25-mile Millennium Trail. Built in 1906 by Jolie Allen, this Victorian mansion is notable for its unique Queen Anne, neoclassical and Gothic styles. However, it is infamous for a tragic event on Christmas night 1948, when Joe Allen's daughter Liddell consumed mercury cyanide and later died, leaving the master bedroom sealed for decades. Since then, the house has become one of the most haunted in America, with paranormal sightings including Liddell's ghost and doppelgangers, attracting ghost enthusiasts and investigators alike. In October, the Nightmare Maze, known for ghost stories and its paranormal reputation, sometimes operates behind the house. Despite its dark past, it remains a popular destination for those drawn to architecture, history, and the supernatural. The Allen House once offered guided tours and hosted events, but it is now the private residence of the Spencer family and is no longer open for tours. Devil's Den State Park spans a large area in Washington County, shaped by the Boston Mountains and filled with numerous caves. The main cave stretches deep into the hillside, and its mysterious name has been used for as long as locals can remember. In 1933, when CCC workers began developing the state park, they embraced dark imagery, naming features Devil's Kitchen, Devil's Council Hall, Devil's Racetrack and Lake Devil. Today, Devil's Den State Park is a well-preserved recreational destination. Visitors can explore trails, rent original CCC stone and log cabins, and enjoy the park's historic structures. Among the park's residents are the big brown bats, which live and thrive in the cool, dark caves. Known for its broad wingspan and a sturdy body built for strong, fast flights, these bats prefer dry, airy spots, which makes Devil's Den's caves perfect for hibernation and roosting. Big brown bats hunt in complete darkness using echolocation, feeding mainly on beetles but also eating moths, flies, wasps and ants. They usually stay in one area year-round instead of migrating long distances. They move only short distances between summer maternity colonies and winter hibernation sites, built to survive where they live rather than travel far. As dawn breaks over Devil's Den, a different predator takes over the insect hunt, the summer tanager. Summer tanagers earned the nickname bee-bird for their skill in catching and eating bees and wasps. They catch these stinging insects mid-air and remove the stinger by rubbing them on branches, a risky behaviour that sets them apart from other insect-eating birds. These songbirds show distinct colours. Males are bright red, the only fully red bird in North America, while females are olive above and orange-yellow below, with some developing full male colouring as they age. While the summer tanager hunts them relentlessly, honeybees remain essential pollinators throughout Devil's Den. They establish their colonies in hollow trees, fallen logs and rock crevices throughout the park's wooded areas, where they feed on the flowering plants that bloom from early spring to fall. By using the waggle or figure-8 dance, where a bee flies in a figure. Eight pattern to show direction and distance, they communicate food locations, helping the colony gather resources efficiently. Their structured hives allow them to store honey and pollen, enough to sustain the colony during seasons when flowers are scarce. Although honeybees do not migrate long distances like birds, colonies may swarm in search of new hive sites. They rely on local floral cycles and can store honey to survive winter when flowers are unavailable. At Devil's Den, they pollinate both native wildflowers and invasive plants. Remarkably, a single colony can pollinate 300 million flowers daily during peak season, with individual workers visiting 50 to 100 flowers per trip. The town of Zinc on Highway 65 in Boone County was named for the mineral that drew thousands, growing from a small settlement into a mining centre near Sugar Orchard Creek. When zinc prices fell and mines closed, the town emptied almost overnight, leaving abandoned houses, businesses, and a post office. Today, this town is considered a ghost town, with leaning buildings, rusted mining equipment, and deserted streets, yet a small population still lives there, with the shadow of its mining-era prosperity. Christ of the Ozarks in Eureka Springs is a 67-foot-tall statue, visible for miles, inspired by the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. While echoing its Brazilian counterpart, it features a distinctly local style and scale. The statue is intentionally minimalist and modern, lacking detailed facial features to create a more generalized and powerful representation of Christ. Nearby, the Crescent Hotel looms on a hill, known for its haunted past. Started as a luxury resort, later became a cancer hospital with unproven treatments, and eventually earned the title of America's Most Haunted Hotel. The suffering and deaths of cancer patients are said to have led to reports of unexplained occurrences and ghostly sightings. Today, it operates as a full-service hotel and spa, offering a pool, spa services, recreational activities, and hosting ghost tours, paranormal investigations, and themed events. From the haunted halls of the hotel, the fox squirrels lives in Slough's quieter corners. They are the largest tree squirrels in North America, often found in the wooded areas of the Kenny Vernon Nature Trail, where use they the tall trees and dense vegetation for shelter and nesting. These animals spend their early morning hours foraging on the ground near the wetland trails, searching for fallen acorns, hickory nuts, walnuts, and occasionally bird eggs or insects. Slough State Wildlife Management Area consists of 2,366 acres situated between Little Rock and Conway. It is known for its diverse habitats, such as moist soil wetlands, bottomland hardwood forests, and upland hardwood pine woodlands. These ecosystems support a variety of wildlife, like migratory waterfowl, white-tailed deer, and numerous bird species. Today it serves as a waterfowl rest area and recreation site, with Palam Creek waterway access closed from November to February to protect migrating ducks. This wildlife management area also hosts the Baltimore oriole, a bright orange and black visitor in spring and summer. These songbirds demonstrate remarkable adaptation, surviving in open woodlands, forest edges, and suburban areas from Arkansas to Alberta, Canada. To support their unique adaptation, they feed on protein-rich insects during breeding and switch to fruits and nectar during migration. Baltimore orioles breed quickly to keep up with their migration pattern, and Slough serves as one of their key breeding grounds. Males claim territories, while females lay eggs in hanging nests, and both parents work non-stop to feed the chicks until they fledge. Then the family heads south. Down in the marshes and tangled undergrowth, the common yellowthroat operates in a different world. These birds are found in the thick wetlands at Slough State Wildlife Management Area, where their survival depends on dense low cover near water sources. So lightweight that they can perch on single stalks of grass, feeding on grasshoppers, crickets, beetles, ants, moths, and caterpillars in the area. With migration occurs primarily at night, they spread over extended periods in both spring and fall, rather than concentrated bursts. Male sings thousands of calls per day, letting out a sharp, slightly buzzing series of rapid chirps to establish territory, attract mates and defend their breeding areas. Their bright yellow throat, olive back, and black face mask make them easily recognisable, while females are duller with an olive brown back and pale yellow throat. Cooper Chapel is known for its beauty and unique design, built with glass and steel to create tall, Gothic-inspired arches that fit naturally into the surrounding forest. Designed by architect E. Fay Jones, who once described the chapel as instruments nature can play, it allows the forest to perform through every season. Today, it stands as one of Arkansas's most beautiful and tranquil architectural landmarks, open to visitors as a non-denominational space and supported by private contributions. Hot Springs National Park is famous for its natural, therapeutic, thermal springs and historic Bathhouse Row. Often called America's first resort, it was established in 1832 and protects 47 hot springs that flow about 950,000 gallons daily at up to 147 degrees Fahrenheit. These springs are unusual for their exceptional purity, with no sulphur smell or unpleasant taste. The waters are mineral rich, containing calcium, magnesium, and other elements, and were historically believed to help arthritis, skin conditions, and other ailments. The demand for these thermal waters led to the construction of more elaborate bathing facilities, eventually forming the area's iconic bathhouses. Bathhouse Row is a collection of 8 historic bathhouses along Hot Springs National Park, built to provide access to the naturally heated thermal waters. As medical advances reduced belief in the benefits of natural spring baths, many of them declined and eventually closed. Today, Buckstaff operates as a full-service spa, Fordyce is a museum, Quapaw offers a modern spa with thermal pools and bathtubs, and Superior has been converted into a brewery. Hale became a hotel, Lamar turned into a park store, Maurice is under renovation, and Ozark serves as a cultural centre. Together they showcase the evolution of Bathhouse Row from historic health destination to a mix of preservation, leisure, and community use. The old mill was built during the Great Depression to attract visitors and potential homebuyers to the Lakewood subdivision, not to actually grind grain or function as a working mill. One month after its dedication, it was used in the opening scene of Gone with the Wind, 1939, making it a cinematic landmark. Now, the old mill serves as a public park, event venue, and popular photography spot. Around the area of the historic site, the rose-breasted grosbeak can often be spotted. They arrive in the area during spring and full migration for the park's deciduous trees and forest edges that makes a perfect stopover habitat. They have a large, triangular bill designed to crack tough seeds, and they also eat wild fruits and various insects. A common prey in their diet is the cabbage white butterfly, which is also found in the gardens and vegetation around the mill. Its pale wings with black spots help it blend with cabbage and mustard plants, which provides protection from predators. They prefer sunlit areas and actively avoid cool, shaded woodlands. In addition, they possess specialised antennae that help them sense flower scents and locate potential mates, even from a distance. Its life cycle is fast: egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, adult. Females lay eggs on host leaves, so hatchlings feed right away and grow quickly before pupating. Crater of Diamonds State Park formed from a volcanic eruption 100 million years ago and is considered 8th largest diamond reserve found in the United States. It is the only public diamond site in North America where visitors can keep their finds. Today, the park offers exhibits about diamonds, geology, and local history, plus tools and tips for prospecting. The site has produced over 35,000 significant finds, including the 40.23 carat Uncle Sam diamond, the largest diamond ever discovered in the United States. Built in 1949, the Memphis, Arkansas Bridge connects West Memphis and Memphis over the powerful Mississippi River. When the bridge replaced unreliable ferry crossings, it transformed regional travel and marked a turning point in transportation between the two states. During an inspection in May 2021, a severe crack was discovered, forcing the bridge to close indefinitely. After emergency repairs and stabilisation, it reopened to traffic just 83 days later, in August 2021. Pea Ridge National Military Park is one of the best preserved Civil War battlefields in the US. With over 4,300 acres of land that once thundered with cannon fire, in March 1862, a major Civil War battle fought to secure control of Missouri. It was notable for being one of the few battles where Native American soldiers fought on both sides. Historic farmhouses, barns and monuments dot the area, while walking trails and scenic overlooks allow visitors to explore key points of the battlefield. Today, it features a visitor centre, museum, the historic landmark Elkhorn Tavern, and a section of the Trail of Tears. Petit Jean State Park, Arkansas's first and oldest state park, is known for its unique geology, natural beauty, and CCC-built stone and log structures, bathhouses, boat docks, and culverts. It combines natural wonders with historical significance, giving visitors the chance to experience its trails, waterfalls, and cultural sites through hiking, camping, and wildlife observation. Moving against the bark like living camouflage is the brown creeper. This 5-inch bird with streaked brown plumage, a whitish throat and a pale eyebrow disappears seamlessly into the mature forests of Petit Jean State Park. It relies on large living and dead trees for foraging and nesting, making the park's preserved woodland an ideal habitat. Brown creepers possess a foraging technique that sets them apart from every other bird species in their range. They always move upward and never descend trees head first like nuthatches. At ground level, the groundhog digs burrows throughout the park. Its powerful claws and sharp teeth make it a skilled digger, constructing multi-chambered tunnels for shelter, food storage, and safe retreat. In terms of diet, groundhogs are true herbivores that feed on wild grasses, clover, alfalfa, dandelions, plantain, and cultivated crops such as beans, peas, and garden vegetables. At Petit Jean State Park, groundhogs stay year-round and do not migrate. During winter, They survive entirely on stored fat, losing up to half their body weight through hibernation. As the season changes, spring signals the start of mating. After a short courtship, females give birth to 3 to 6 pups in a secluded den. The young remain with their mother for several weeks, learning to dig, forage, and avoid danger before living independently. The Peel mansion was designed as a grand Italian-style home, and later became a symbol of both prosperity and ambition. It was built by Colonel Samuel West Peel, who rose from wartime poverty to become the first native-born Arkansan elected to Congress. However, the mansion declined after Samuel Peel's financial losses, passing through several owners who couldn't maintain it, and eventually standing empty and deteriorating over time. Today, it is known as a haunted landmark, and visitors report sightings of Samuel Peel and his daughter Minnie Bell, who is said to play the piano in an empty room. Eventually, Walmart purchased the property and donated it to the Peel House Foundation, which later turned it into a museum, hosting weddings, fundraisers, and tours. Fayetteville is the second most populous city in Arkansas, established in 1828 near Big Spring at the base of Mount Sequoyah. Originally called Washington Courthouse, it was changed in 1829 to Fayetteville to avoid confusion with another Washington. The new name honoured a city in Tennessee, which itself was named for General Lafayette, the French hero of the American Revolution. Its early growth was fueled by agriculture and trade along nearby rivers, which established it as a key stop in the region. Over the years, the city became home to the University of Arkansas, founded in 1871, which brought new energy, innovation, and a youthful population to the area. Now, Fayetteville is recognised as an educational and cultural centre with a mix of historic and modern buildings. Built in 1905, the Romanesque-style Washington County Courthouse dominates the Fayetteville Square with its iconic clock tower. The facade features a triple-arched entrance, rounded doorways, rough stonework on the lower levels, and a steeple with a bell and 4 clocks visible from all directions. Originally mechanical and weight-driven, the clocks were later converted to electric for easier maintenance. This landmark served as the centre of county government for much of the 20th century and saw decades of local history unfold. Even today, it remains one of Fayetteville's most recognised historic buildings and attracts attention for both its architecture and the mysteries surrounding its clock tower. Not far from the square, Fayetteville National Cemetery stands as a tribute to those fell in the Civil War. This resting place spans nearly 15 acres and holds the remains of 11,000 veterans and eligible family members. The first burials came from battlefield exhumations at Pea Ridge, Prairie Grove, Elkhorn Tavern, and many unidentified white soldiers. Its original layout formed a compass rose with 18 sections circling a central flagpole, separated by pathways creating a 6-pointed star. Headstones originally faced the flag, but during World War II, they were turned to face the graves to allow more burial space. This, along with 5 new sections added in the 1940s, obscured the original star pattern. Today, approximately 200 new burials occur each year as the cemetery continues its mission of honouring military service. This is Arkansas, a land of hidden wonders and remarkable architectural marvels. Now, if you don't want to miss the most unreal wonders of California, check out this video.